A very good evening to one and all who have joined us this evening. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for taking out your precious time and joining us today. I am Kirtika and I am from the Global Wildlife Fair team. So, firstly, we'll begin by introducing the Global Wildlife Fair. So, the Global Wildlife Fair is a platform that brings together adventurers, ecologists, photographers, and storytellers from around the world. We celebrate the exploration of nature, discovering new species, new landscapes, new experiences, while connecting people who share that passion for the natural world with us. At its core, the Global Wildlife Fair is about building a global community that learns, travels, and grows together. For this webinar, the Global Wildlife Fair has collaborated with Gujarat Tourism. The collaboration between the Global Wildlife Fair and Gujarat Tourism brings together conservation awareness and sustainable tourism to highlight the state's rich natural heritage through engaging sessions, storytelling, and educational outreach. These partnerships aim to showcase Gujarat's unique landscapes, wildlife, and cultural diversity, encouraging people to explore these regions responsibly and fostering a deeper appreciation for state's ecological treasures. The theme for today's webinar is the dance, Gujarat's hidden gateway to Sahyadris. The dance is a forested landscape at the northern edge of the Sahyadris, Western Ghats, where rich biodiversity, tribal cultural heritage, and community-rooted conservation converge. From endangered vultures and rare forest birds to peak bamboo forests and river valleys, this webinar explores how science-led conservation and immersive low-impact travel can bring together and shape meaningful nature experiences in one of Western India's most ecologically significant, yet lesser known regions. And for this very interesting webinar, we have with us Mr. Aditya Roy. Sir is a wildlife biologist and conservation practitioner with over 12 years of experience in field ecology, species research, and experimental nature travel across Western and Central India. Beginning his journey through birdwatching programs at the Vikram Sarabhai Community Science Center, he developed an early fascination with birds that deepened a commitment to avian ecology, particularly India's vulture crisis. He has since worked extensively on vulture research and conservation in Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, contributing to breeding colony surveys and landscape level initiatives with the Wildlife Institute of India and the Bombay Natural Society. His doctoral research, now in its final stages, examines vulture ecology and species recovery in central Gujarat. Beyond research, Sir has led immersive wildlife journeys for over a decade and as a co-founder of SOAR Excursions, designs field-based learning experiences rooted in ecological literacy and ethical wildlife observation. In 2021, he moved to the Dangs in the northern Western Ghats, where he founded Dang Forest Retreat, a low-impact community-oriented forest homestay that offers immersive nature experiences anchored in conservation and landscape-based travel. We welcome you, sir. And without much ado, I would like to hand over the session to Sir to lead us into this very intriguing discussion.
Am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Kritika, for the lovely introduction. Very good evening to all of you who have joined the webinar, and very warm welcome. Kritika has already explained and given a lot of information about me, so I will not waste more time introducing myself, and we can start with the presentation. So basically, today we will be talking about Gujarat's southernmost tip, which is the northernmost tip of the Sahyadris, the Western Ghats, and it is one of the most less explored landscapes of Gujarat. So that area is known as the Dang, and we have in last 2 years we have started a very nice forest homestay over there, which I will be talking later on. So when people think of Gujarat, and mostly people like all of us who are wildlifers, nature lovers, we think of Gujarat, and the first thing that will come to our mind is Asiatic lions or the Run of Kutch all the salt deserts. So yes, Gujarat has an amazing diversity of landscapes and wildlife. We have the longest coastline in India. We have five mountain ranges originating or ending from Gujarat, which starts from Aravallis, Satpuras, Vindhyas, and finally Sahyadris. We have dry deciduous forest, mixed forest, uh, semi-evergreen, and also evergreen forest. Largest desert landscapes of India are in Gujarat. So Gujarat has an amazing diversity of habitats, and that's why it offers so many beautiful wildlife and cultural experiences. Because with the geographical diversity, we also get cultural diversity. And Dang is the southernmost part of Gujarat, and which is one of the least explored areas of Gujarat. Hardly, like, many people from Gujarat also don't know about this region. There is only one small hill station which is known as Saputara. Most of the people would go there, have fun and come back, but nobody and very few people, explore this region, which is amazing in terms of biodiversity and cultural diversity. So I'll begin with a little bit about Dang. So Dang, uh, my screen is visible properly? Yeah. So Dang is India's one of the most forested districts, and especially in state like Gujarat, which is mostly dry and arid. This is a very unique landscape. Almost 80% of the district is covered in protected and semi-protected and community-managed forests, and um, it is the northernmost tip of the Western Ghats. So you can consider it as like starting point of the Sahyadris or the Western Ghats. So on the map, you can see this red dot. So Gujarat is the westernmost state in India, and on the southern tip of Gujarat, this red part is the Dang district. And if we talk about the elevation and some geographical aspects, so it is a very heavy rainfall region. It is the most, like, the heaviest rainfall in Gujarat happens in Dang, and and the elevation is from 300 to 1300 meters. So it is not very high mountains, but it is a mountainous terrain. And it is the only district which is 100% tribal population, except a few people who have come from other parts of Gujarat or other states and settled there. The entire native population of Dang is tribes, and there are eight different tribes in Dangs. And these tribes have been living in this forest, protecting this forest since thousands of years. So that's why it is a very unique landscape in terms of forest ecology and also cultural diversity. And it is very easily accessible also. And there is a very beautiful narrow gauge train which is 60 kilometers long journey from a station called Billimora. So one who wants to explore Dang can also experience this heritage train, because it's a 130-year-old train, and very close to Surat airport, which is just 2 hours drive. And now the new expressway which has opened up between Delhi to Bombay, which connects very easily to the Dang forest region. So, if we talk about the protected areas in Dang, there are two major protected areas. The larger one is Purna Wildlife Sanctuary, which is part of the North Dang, and Vasda National Park, which is the smallest national park of Gujarat, which is part of South Dang. But apart from that, most of the district is collected, is covered in the forest, and both these protected areas are also continuously connected by a forest corridor. And that's why it gives rise to amazing diversity of birds, reptiles, insects, and it is home to one of the most enigmatic species, forest owlet, which we will talk a little later, and also some really nice rare flowering plants like Karvi flowers, which bloom once in 7 years. So there are so many interesting aspects which one can explore in Dang. So a little bit about Vasda National Park. So as I had said, it is very small. It is just 24 square kilometers, but it is very rich in biodiversity. and we have dry deciduous and moist deciduous and some small portions of evergreen forest also. And it has dense canopy, and it is an excellent birding, and you can walk. And it is a very quaint little national park which is not explored by a lot of people. It is not like those national parks like Kana or Ranthambore or even Sasangir, where you will find hundreds of tourists and lots of gypsies, and people are just running around for some sightings. So it is more like an exploratory national park, a very beautiful forest. You can walk, you can enjoy birds, you can enjoy small insects, flowers. So, as the tagline says, it is not about checklisted sighting. It is about living inside a forest or being inside a forest, and you can get an amazing experience of this beautiful, more than 200-year-old forest in Vasda National Park. And Purna Wildlife Sanctuary is like a big brother to Vasda National Park. It is almost 160 square kilometers, and it is lot of undulating terrain. You can do some small tracks, you can do cycling, you can do multiple things. It is multiple ways you can explore the biodiversity, not just by doing jeep safaris. And the one of the largest rivers of Dang, Purna River, originates from this wildlife sanctuary. So that's why it is known as Purna Wildlife Sanctuary. And it is also evergreen, moist, and dry deciduous, and lot of bamboo forest also. So you can really explore, feeling of wilderness if you are traveling in the Purna Wildlife Sanctuary. So a little bit about the flora and fauna of this region. So there are so many microhabitats. You can see in this photograph that there are, and it is a very seasonal habitat. So like monsoon time, there will be hundreds of waterfalls and lush green forest and so much undergrowth. And then by the autumn, lot of leaves will fall down and it will become dry and brown in most of the places. And then again, springtime, there will be so many flowering plants. So there are grasslands, and there are flowering plants, and then there are dense canopies, woodlands, also rocky terrains. So many different kinds of habitats which give rise to different diversity of flora and fauna. And you come in every season, you have something new to explore in this area. So floral diversity is amazing in Dangs, and very few people explore flora. And one can do really good botany tour in Dang, or travel for learning about variety of medicinal plants. So many varieties of orchids are there. So almost 1276 taxa and 710 genera. These are the documented species, but Dang is so much unexplored that there can be many more species in this area. And it is, as it is said, it is a living botanical archive with stories your guides can bring alive. Because, as I said, there are so many tribes, and a lot of these tribes have been living in this forest since hundreds of years, and they have such an amazing knowledge about this forest that you take any villager with you in a forest walk, and he will be or she will be able to explain you so many things which you have never read in any books, or it is not available on Google. Each plant has some use, either medicinal or edible or some sort of use they have. They even have some plants which they just cut open and drink from it. So if you are thirsty, they know which plant to cut and have water from it. Or if you're hungry, what plant to eat. Or if you have wounded in the forest, what plants to use. So much knowledge which is undocumented, unwritten, which you can explore. And because there is so much floral diversity, there is obviously a lot of faunal diversity. Although there are no big fancy mammals apart from leopard, yes, which is a very elusive mammal. You don't see it a lot, it sees you more. But then there are so many other mammals, birds, reptiles, insects, and some species which are rare and endemic to the Western Ghats or the Northern Western Ghats. So it's a perfect area, destination for niche travelers, photographers, naturalists who want to really enjoy and explore the forest, not just run behind sightings and photography. So bird life, because I suppose many of you would be into birding, and bird life is very rich in Dangs. There are more than 230 species of birds which are resident and migratory. But it is not a very well-known birding destination, so you don't find a lot of crowd at every birding spot, and you can easily go around, enjoy the birds, see their behavior, and you will get very good photographs also. And some very interesting families of birds for which lot of people come to dance, all the birders. One is the owl diversity. It has 11, and if I count some historical records, it has 13 species of owls. And you can do really amazing nocturnal owling walks, and you can see this all amazing, like brown wood owl, mottled wood owl, oriental scops owl, barn owl, brown fish owl, brown bubok, and so many other. And the star of the owls is forest owlet, which is a diurnal bird. You see it during the daytime, and this bird was considered to be extinct. And during his lifetime, Salim Ali tried to find this bird for entire his life. Unfortunately, he couldn't rediscover it, but later in 1970s, it was rediscovered by an American ornithologist, Pamela Rasmussen, and still it is a globally threatened. It's an endangered species with a very patchy habitat and very limited distribution. But dang is one of the best, and as per the latest papers and censuses, it is the highest population of forest owlet in India, and the sightings are really good. So some people who are like really looking for certain targets, forest owlet is definitely one of the target birds for anybody in India, and also people who come from all over the world to do birding in India. Forest owlet is a key species, and people do come to Dang specially for this bird. And apart from forest owlet, you have so many specialty birds which are either endemic or semi-endemic to Western Ghats, like Malabar trogon, Vigord's sunbird, which is restricted to only northern Western Ghats, and white drum flameback or white-bellied woodpecker, almost 11 species of woodpeckers, white drum punia, and so many other flycatchers and other forest birds you can explore. And mammals, yes, it is a very good population of leopards, but sightings of leopards are very rare. But you can also explore some lesser known mammals like rusty spotted cat, palm civet, or barking deer, flying squirrel, and so many other smaller mammals are there. So if you are not someone who likes to just go on a crazy safari and chase for big cats, then Dang is a perfect destination where you can explore the whole region at your pace and enjoy every small sightings, mammals, birds, or other things. And it's again because it's Western Ghats, and it is Western Ghats is known for its amphibious and reptile diversity, and so is Dang. It has more than 30 species of snakes, so many species of frogs, even species of Sicilians, like this Bombay Sicilian, which is the largest Sicilian, and an amphibian which doesn't have limbs. And then you can have so many varieties of spiders, scorpions. So you can explore a lot of this smaller reptilian and other genera, like herpetology, or if you are into spiders or dragonflies, butterflies, moths. So yeah, amazing diversity of butterflies and moths again. More than 70 species of butterflies have been reported, and moth diversity is not even documented fully. So I can't even give a number, but so many varieties of moth you can see in Dangs, especially in and around monsoon time. And then some amazing spectacles also happen, like firefly congregation. So you can see it in the first photo. If I don't know if it is clear, but during the just after first rains, the fireflies would come out in thousands, and then they will congregate on a a tree, and that is their courtship display, where they will blink in a synchronized manner. It looks like a Christmas or a Diwali decoration. And you, in the pitch dark forest, you will just see like this blinking trees, and it's a very mesmerizing thing to see, experience. And of course, so many other insects, spiders, dragonflies, scorpions. So if you are interested in macro photography, Dang is like a heaven for those people. And yes, tribes and culture, it's still very rare to now in Gujarat is like one of the most developed states of India, and there is a corner in Gujarat where we still have tribal culture, where people still use bullocks to plow the farms, and they do organic farming, and they still grow some very traditional varieties of rice or millets, and celebrate some amazing festivals. They worship nature. So Dang has amazing tribal culture, and there are 8 indigenous tribes in Dang. So they worship Vagdev, which is shown in the first picture. It's a forest deity. So it's just like a sun, moon, tiger, a snake, scorpion, and a peacock on a stone or on a wood. So it is put on outside of forest, and they worship that. And then they celebrate some amazing festivals with their uh, methods, like holy time they do this mask dance, or they also celebrate different festivals like Mavli and all, where you can see some amazing rituals, instruments, and all those being used. So there are so many experiences beyond wildlife that you can do in Dang. So as I said, there are so many communities who are actively engaged in organic farming, bamboo craft, fishing, forest foraging. So many varieties of plants, mushrooms they take from forest as food, that you one can be surprised, like they can survive only on forest produce. So it is amazing experience to go with them in the forest, pick up those vegetables and mushrooms, and come back and cook them in the traditional way. So many such experiences one can do in Dang. And yes, so you can also go and learn basketry, or you can also forage mushrooms, or do a small cycling. So many things other than wildlife you can do through these tribes. Engage with them, learn about the forest in a very different way than just as a naturalist. These tribes are actually very good naturalists. Their eyesight and their knowledge about the forest is on another level. And yes, cuisine, so many things comes from forest, and then they grow also very unique stuff, which is very traditional, which is not seen in modern cities, and you can eat or cook in these traditional styles, go to their homes and cook with them, and enjoy the whole culinary experience. So food is like storytelling. Every ingredient has a connection with the forest. And festivals, as I mentioned earlier, there are so many different festivals which are unheard of in mainstream cultures. So like Mavli, where they do some amazing dance, they'll go in trance and they'll play this traditional musical instruments, or they make this beautiful masks from paper mache and wood, and they'll wear it and do dance. So yes, for and most of the festivals are related to harvest. So you can time your tours in such a way, if you want to come to Dang, that you can explore the amazing wildlife, bird life, but at the same time you can also enjoy some of these festivals, immerse yourself in this cultural odyssey. And a little bit about our homestay. So in last 3 years, I am from Ahmedabad, but I always loved this area, and I moved to Dang, and we have started a small boutique homestay overlooking the Ambika River, which is one of the largest rivers of Dang, and just next to Vasda National Park, which we have used mostly local material like bamboo, local stone, and the entire place is also made by the local artisans, and we serve local food. So if you want to explore Dang's a piece of it, you can explore through Dang Forest Retreat also. And then we offer all the experiences that I was talking about, like waterfall, farm to fork, forest walks, heritage train, birding, owling, basketry, because we are also working with these tribes for their livelihood. So we also run a bamboo furniture unit where these tribes use their bamboo skills, and they produce some very good quality of furniture and products and all that for their livelihood. So we are well connected with the tribes of this area, and you can have an amazing immersive experience of the tribal culture. So yes, so uncurated, that is the highlight. So we don't curate lot of things. You come and you can explore in your own way, but it's a slow travel destination. You can enjoy, immerse yourself in various experiences, from birding to cycling to walking to cultural immersion. Lot of things one can explore in Dangs, and still this region is completely raw, so the experiences are pretty authentic in this area. And thank you. I hope everybody could listen to it properly, and I'll hand it over to Kritika so she can take it forward now.
Indeed, I think the people actually had a quite good time listening to the presentation, as we can see questions in the chat box. So from here on, we move to the Q&A session. So I think the first, just a second. First question I'll be taking off is Anish. So Anish want to ask, how can the dam develop as a model for responsible rural and nature-based tourism in Gujarat without compromising on its ecological integrity?
Sorry, just I need to read it. Where is this?
This is in the chat box. Sir, if it's okay, I'll reread it for you.
How can the dance develop as a model for responsible and rural, that one, right?
Yeah.
Tourism in Gujarat without compromising its ecological Yes, so see, what I am telling is my viewpoint. So basically, if you want to, every destination should have a carrying capacity, and if you go above the carrying capacity and try to do over tourism, this always going to destroy the destination, its ecological integrity, and also to some extent cultural diversity. Because if you make it overly commercial, then it becomes a problem. The tribes lose their interest in authenticity. It has happened in many places in India. So the the key point is to balance the footfall or the as per the carrying capacity, and also try to involve as many local people as possible in the whole tourism initiative, from let's say taxi drivers to nature guides to in all aspects, so that they, if they are benefiting something from the tourism footfall, they'll definitely want to protect their cultural diversity or their wildlife. That is what I my belief is.
Sir, Amrut wants to ask, how have the tribal communities of the dams preserved traditional knowledge that supports the conservation of local forests and wildlife?
Yeah, so as I said in the presentation, there are almost 8 different tribes in Dangs. Some of them are like completely forest dwelling tribes, like Kotwalia tribe, or there is another tribe called Kolga. So these tribes have been going in the forest since thousands of years, since they are there, and they have amazing knowledge about plants, birds, and because forest is forest is a source of livelihood for them. They are very respectful in, like they will not just rampantly cut trees or kill animals. They do hunt, they eat, they cut trees. Not that they are not doing, but they regrow so many things, because that is a continuous source of their food, their livelihood, and also the medicinal plants. So it is like a sustainable harvesting by the tribes. At the same time, if some big company comes or want to commercialize everything, that will become unsustainable after a certain point. Like if you start making Ayurvedic medicines and start selling them to all over India from just from dungs, is definitely going to over harvest from the forest. So, but these tribes, they have, since thousands of years of their experience, they have learned how to keep a balance between harvesting and regenerating. And that is the very interesting. They worship the forest. If you go in the forest, there are so many trees that they worship. There are just small rocks that they worship the rivers, and that's why they keep them clean and try to protect them. So it's like forest is sacred for them.
So, Sir Kashish wants to ask, what are some ongoing conservation projects in the dam related to wildlife forests or river, and how can travelers participate to support these initiatives?
So yes, there are several projects are going on. There is one project on forest owlet, which is habitat distribution and it's a very hardcore ecological and wildlife project about monitoring of forest owlet. There are several NGOs working for livelihood, sustainable livelihood of the tribes through their traditional, like bamboo crafts and all. So you can participate in one of those kind of more like social aspects of dance. There are some NGOs who are working for afforestation. So several we work with several organizations across dams who are working with different aspects, and you can definitely come volunteer or participate with them.
Sir Subhash wants to ask if you can again share the phone number of dam.
Shall I just put it on the in the chat box?
Sure, so that would work fine. So, next question is by Pooja. That tourism in the dams has grown in the recent years. What are the steps taken or should be taken to ensure that tourism remains sustainable and benefits the local communities?
This I think I answered in the previous question was also similar. So basically, it has to, we need to manage the number of people. Every destination has a carrying cap. If you go to Simla or Manali right now, you see what tourism has done to these destinations. But at the same time, if you go to Jageshwar or some smaller places where there is limited tourism, it's very beautiful. Still, there are places in Himachal also where, in spite of so much tourism, you still have pockets where nice places are left. So basically, it is to, and also I think that, like, for us, whoever comes to stay with us or travel with us, it is also very important as as travel organizers for from our side to educate and to orient the guests in a way that they understand it is that this is a very sensitive ecosystem or the tribal culture, and how to respect it, how to enjoy it without destroying it. So with every guest also, this is um, very important that we personally we do that.
The next question is by Partha. He's asking how far is the Dang Forest retreat from Vagai station?
So from Vagai station, it is 12 kilometer. But before Vagai, so if you are going by the narrow gauge train, before Vagai there is one station called Kala Amba, which is a very small. It's inside forest. There is just one platform, and that is just 700 meters from Dang Forest Retreat. So you can actually walk from there.
So the next question is by Salil. He's asking what are the chances to see the forest owlet and bigger sunbird at Dang Forest?
So if you come in right season, which is from October till almost May, before the start of monsoon, almost forest outlet is, I mean, nobody can give a guarantee of 100% in wildlife, but almost 9 out of 10 people who come to Dang uh, with right people, you can definitely see. It's a very vast habitat, so you need to know the exact areas where to go and look for it, but you can see both the species quite like there is a almost 80 to 90% chance you can see them.
So Arif wants to ask, what are some lesser known species of flora or fauna that travelers encounter in the dance that highlights its ecological significance?
So as like even forest owlet is lesser known species, then we have so many so floral diversity. If we see, there are almost 27 species of orchids. Some of them are just ground orchids which just grow during monsoon. Then we have this carvy flower blooms, especially in some years. And fauna, we have forest owlet, bigger sunbird. There are some very nice species of woodpeckers. Then, in terms of snakes, you can see bamboo pit viper, Bombay shieldtail, Bombay Sicilian. So many varieties of frogs like tree frog and other marble frogs. So, and spiders and butterflies and dragonflies, there is amazing diversity. So even like many of the spiders are even not described yet, so many species are there. So you can actually come and actually do a research on spiders, and you will definitely find news. Recently, only from our homestay only, we found one species of tarantula which was completely new. So it has gone for identification, but 99% it is going to be a new species. So so many unexplored areas, especially in microfauna, like insects, especially. So many species are there. Fishes also, so much
So
diversity.
now, so now we'll be taking up one last question by Yogesh. Which months are the best for the forest owlet?
November to April.
So with this, we come to an end of today's session. Thank you so much, sir,
My
for sharing
pleasure.
such informative session about the dance and introducing us to his whole new place. It felt like we got transported over there by being in front of our screens. And to all our participants, thank you for joining us this evening. And we definitely can't wait to see you at the Global Wildlife Fair, which is from 30th to 1st November at the Travancore Palace this year. Good evening, everyone. Hope to see you on in more such webinars. And don't forget to follow our page.